Zuckerberg has basically decided that he's going to change
Facebook, Twitter again.
He's basically making Facebook Twitter is what it sounds like. And I see a lot of people going crazy over this. And to be fair, it's a win for President Trump for sure. And it's a cultural win for sure. Mark Zuckerberg is not to be trusted under any circumstances whatsoever. None. And so everybody's going crazy over this announcement, though. So let's listen to a little bit of what the Zuck has to say.
It's 5 minutes. God.
Let's listen to the whole thing.
I want to talk about something important today because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes.
Bro, the only thing missing from this was for him to like start it by going and sitting down and being like like a YouTuber apology video. Yes, that's the only thing missing from this, and any actual form of true human expression.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. You can put it on like 1.5. Put it on 1.5 speed. He is dressed like a fucking rapper.
God.
He is dressed like a rapper. Holy shit.
Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
No shit. Like, this is only happening because Trump won the election. This would not be happening if Kamala won. Zuckerberg cannot be trusted under any circumstances whatsoever. He is only doing this because he's basically been wrong for the last 8 years. And Elon basically proved that, and Elon has decided to shift everything. And again, this does go back to Elon Musk and his purchase of Twitter. And that is going to prove to be one of the most important pieces to this whole culture war. Maybe the thing, would you argue against that if I said Elon Musk buying Twitter is the single most important moment in the culture war, hands down?
Potentially, yeah. It's definitely like one of the biggest moments. There's no doubt about that. And in terms of trusting Mark Zuckerberg, look, I think that there are a lot of people like Mark Zuckerberg out there, these huge fucking billionaires that control, whether it's social media side or something else, a big business, that of course they're going to do whatever they think is right in the moment. So the one thing you can trust with some of these people, Jeff Bezos, maybe Zuckerbergs of the world, is that at some point in time, they'll do what's best for themselves. That's the one thing you can trust. And that might take a while before they find out they've lost. There's going to be some people out there that are willing to lose money and funnel money to promote whatever their ideology is in nefarious ways. But I think there's also a lot of guys like this that when they see the tide turning, they will turn with it because they think it's advantageous for their business. That is the one thing you can trust a lot of these guys to do.
Agreed.
So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
Can I just call somebody a bitch on Instagram in my replies? Like, that's all I want to be able to do, Mark. That's all. Like,
we're not asking for much here, Mark.
I don't even need to say retard on Facebook or Instagram, right? I would like to at some point. I want to eventually be a place on Instagram where I can call someone a fucking retard and not get reported. Just for right now, let me call them a bitch. Little small baby steps, Mark. That's what I want. But yes, we're glad you got fucking your update download 4.7. It seems like that's what this is for this NPC. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's good to hear, I suppose.
Yeah, I just don't. To me, it's more about the overall cultural shift, not so much Mark Zuckerberg, not so much Facebook. It's about the cultural shift that's happening, and the fact that Trump's not even in office yet, and we're seeing the result of that across the board. He literally is changing the world. He's literally changing the entire world right before our very eyes, and he's not even in office yet. So that's the bigger takeaway from this whole thing. Not so much Mark Zuckerberg. I don't trust Zuckerberg at all, and it just continues to show that Elon didn't change with the wind. He literally was the wind. You know what I mean? Like, he shifted things. He didn't go with the flow. He was the flow. And yeah, so we'll see how it. I mean, I don't really use Facebook that much. I use Facebook Messenger, but I don't really use Facebook at all. Well, does this make me want to use Facebook? Not really. Hell, I don't even really like using Twitter at this point in time. Twitter is just a fucking massive shit show anyway. Ryan's been using Twitter more lately.
Kind of, yeah.